2022.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter the time of the day, WRMN 1410 AM is your platform to voice your views, share your stories, and connect with the Valley like never before. We're more than just radio. We're a community conversation that's always live, always local, and always looking for your input. Want to chime in on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil? Got a hot tip for first shift with Marky B? Or maybe you've got a question for a one-on-one with Leah. Now's the time to make your voice heard by calling Studio 14 at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You can join in the dialogue from wherever you are by commenting on our YouTube live streams at WRMN Radio. Hit the subscribe button to get notified when we go live and bring your comments to the table. It's easy, it's fun, and hey, it's what neighbors do. We talk, we listen, we engage. You're not just the audience, you're part of the show. Call in, comment, and let's make radio interactive. WRMN 1410 AM, where your words are part of our wavelength.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
The Blackhawks looking to snap a 4-game losing skid as they wrap up the season. They visit the Golden Knights tonight. Baseball Monday in 11 innings. The Cubs outlasted the Diamondbacks 3-2. Chicago tied it with a run on the top of the ninth. Nico Horner singled home the winning run. The Royals shut out the White Sox 2-0. Seth Lugo and two relievers held the Sox to just 4 hits. NBA play-in tournament action tomorrow night at United Center. The Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks. Chicago, the 9th team in the East. Atlanta is the 10th. The winning team advances to play on Friday. They battle the losing team of tonight's Philadelphia-Miami matchup. Whoever wins that one earns the Eastern Conference's 7th seed in the standings. At stake in Friday's game, the 8th seed in the East. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new Breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP LLC.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit Staples.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Welcome to Out to Lunch here at WRMN on a Tuesday afternoon as we get things underway with a 69-degree day. Winds are out of the east at 14 miles per hour, and we are having a very pleasant day so far. Weather-wise, it's getting a little cloudy. It's very breezy outside. We'll get that update for you weather-wise in just a few moments. There's an incident going on down at the Elgin Police Station right now, and I'm trying to collect some information about it as we speak. And so I will share it for you, what I have, in just a few moments. But we have a couple of alerts, thanks to the commander from the American Legion for sending me some information with a heads up. There's a helicopter flying overhead. I believe it's a news helicopter. And so I'm going to collect some information. And apparently, the Elgin Police Department has a hazmat level 2 hazmat response for an unknown white powder on the second floor of the police station. Hazmat 22 and multiple techs are on the scene, and Haz ID is being requested from Bartlett as well. So Bartlett's on their way to help out, and it's a hazmat level 2 hazmat response for an unknown white powder on the second floor of the police station. As a result of that, I see the Elgin Operations Center vehicle is parked down the street in front of the police station right now, and quite a bit going on, a lot of commotion out in front of the police station right now. So I'll see if I can dig up a report or any other details I can share with you this hour, and that'll be a part of our news during our first hour of Out to Lunch. It is 12:07. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to try to see what else I can scramble together. It's been a busy morning here at the radio station, which is a good thing. But we have Out to Lunch between now and 2. I'll handle this hour, and Sonar will take you through the next hour, and we'll make it happen. Phone lines are always open. If you have any additional information, we're on YouTube, and you can share it with us at WRMN Radio on YouTube. It is 12:08 here at WRMN. Let's check some other news first.
For WRMN 1410 News, I'm Ben Boquist. Highlighting a story from TheGuardian.com, Peter Higgs, the physicist who discovered the Higgs boson, has died at age 94. The Nobel Prize-winning physicist who showed how the particle helped bind the universe together was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2013 for his work in 1964, showing how the boson helped bind the universe together by giving particles their mass. After a series of experiments, which began in earnest in 2008, his theory was proven by physicists working at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Switzerland in 2012. The Nobel Prize was shared with Francis Engelert, a Belgian theoretical physicist who worked in 1964, also contributed directly to the discovery. In other news highlighting a story from APnews.com, Norfolk Southern agrees to pay $600 million in a settlement related to the train derailment in eastern Ohio. The company said the agreement, if approved by the court, will resolve all class action claims within a 20-mile radius of the derailment, and for those residents who choose to participate, personal injury claims within a 10-mile radius from the derailment. The company said the settlement doesn't include or constitute any admission of liability, wrongdoing, or fault. The settlement is expected to be submitted for preliminary approval to the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Ohio later in April 2024. Payments to class members under the settlement could begin by the end of the year, subject to final court approval. Norfolk Southern has already spent more than $1.1 billion in its response to the derailment, including more than $104 million in direct aid to East Palestine and its residents. Partly because Norfolk Southern is paying for the cleanup, President Joe Biden has never declared a disaster for East Palestine, which is a sore point for many residents. The railroad has promised to create a fund to help pay for the long-term health needs of the community, but that hasn't happened yet. For WRMN 1410 News, I'm Ben Boquist.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Line drive, right field, base hit. One runner's in. Everyone moves up 90. Cubs lead 3-2. Nico Horner delivers. Opposite field RBI single, and the Cubs have the lead here in the 11th inning.
The action courtesy of the Cubs radio network in 11 innings, 3-2 the final last night on the road to Arizona. Nico Horner with the game-winning single. He also scored the tying run in the ninth on a Kevin Ginkel wild pitch. The misery continues for the White Sox. They got shut out 2-0 at home against the Royals. Just 4 hits allowed by Seth Lugo over 7 full for Kansas City. The 2-14 White Sox have dropped 5 in a row. They've scored a major league low 34 runs. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP LLC.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
It is 12:12. Been a busy Tuesday. Hope you're feeling okay. We are live from Studio 14 in downtown Elgin for Out to Lunch. And I'm Marky B from the first shift, and I'm going to see what I can do to try to reach out to maybe Police Chief Anna Lally. If she has time for a report, she might not, as there's quite a commotion going on right now down at the Elgin Police Department. They have put something out on their Facebook page now. It is quite the scene down there right now, as apparently there's been some sort of a hazmat response to something that was discovered on the second floor of the police station. So that's what's going on if you're in the area and you're listening right now and you're wondering why you're seeing all that commotion. On the Facebook page of the Elgin Police Department, it says at 11:02, the Elgin Fire Department was contacted due to an unknown substance that was located inside the Elgin Police Department. So the police department, somebody found it. The Elgin Fire Department was contacted, and the Elgin Fire Department initiated a hazmat response and is currently investigating the substance, which is contained in a small area within the department. Currently, the lobby of the police department is closed. If you require non-emergency assistance, please contact the police department for the non-emergency phone number, which is 847-289-2700. That's 847-289-2700, and that's all they have on Facebook so far, saying they will provide additional information when they get it. So that's what we know so far, according to the Elgin Police Department. Again, that is a hazmat response to some white powdery substance that was, I guess, discovered at the police station. So we'll see if it's nothing. I hope it's nothing. But if it is nothing, it's quite the scene down there with the new emergency operations vehicle for the city of Elgin being utilized. So I'm going to look around. As I said, I just kind of scrambled my way in here for the show today. We had a long meeting beforehand, but I'm going to see what I can find for you, and we'll try to share it as the hour goes on. Here at WRMN, we are on YouTube this hour if you want to join us. Chat room's available to you, and we are at WRMN Radio in the chat room if you want to join me that way and share any information that you might have. And we will go from there. It's a beautiful day outside right now. We are looking at current temperature of 69 degrees this hour as we get things started. And we're looking for a high of about 73. Guess we'll start with a weather update for you. 73, the expected high. Very breezy out there today. And a 30% chance of showers moving in as the afternoon progresses. Mostly cloudy with a high of 73. Showers and possibly a thunderstorm later. Tonight, very good chance of rain. 90% chance as we drop to a low of about 62. So a very warm overnight low of 62. And then tomorrow, showers are likely, possibly a thunderstorm in the morning. And a slight chance of a shower in the afternoon, a high of 68 for your Wednesday. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low of 47. And on Thursday, showers are likely mainly in the afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high of 61. Showers are likely late tomorrow night with a low of 43. 61 for the high tomorrow, 43 tomorrow night. And then we cool off but have a sunny weekend in store. Mostly sunny and 57 for Friday. Mostly sunny and 53 for Saturday. And areas of frost Saturday night and Sunday morning. As we have overnight low of 33 for Saturday night, 56 for your Sunday high. Back to 62 for next Monday. It is 12:17 here at WRMN. Here on this Tuesday Out to Lunch show. Elgin Community College is having a job fair in a few hours, and I'm getting some emailed information to me so I can share some details on that. We'll have that with some First Shift 411 this hour. And let me take this quick break, and I'll come back with some other news. I'll see if I can reach out to the chief of police from the city of Elgin for an update. If she's too busy for that, then we'll go on with some other news this hour. A lot going on at the police station right now down the block. A hazmat alert has been sent out. It is 12:18 here at WRMN. It is Out to Lunch here on this Tuesday.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
America's Best Restaurants travels the country and features restaurants that you should visit each week. Recently, the cast and crew made their way to Renata's German Restaurant in Hanover Park. Renata serves old family recipes and delicious German-influenced food. Renata's also specializes in a wide variety of traditional German baked goods, too. So, if you've yet to visit Renata's, try America's Best Restaurants choice. Drop in soon for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Is it noon already? Take your lunch hour up a notch with Out to Lunch from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WRMN 1410 a.m. Unwind with the perfect blend of soothing sounds and lighthearted conversations that'll make every bite taste better. Whether you're in office or out on the town, let us serve up the best in radio company. Stream on the go with our app on Google and Apple. Because lunchtime is your time. Out to Lunch every day from 12 to 2 on WRMN 1410 a.m. The talk of the town.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch Hour 1. Here on this Tuesday as we work through a nice middle of the day here in downtown Elgin. The weather's beautiful. The scene doesn't look too beautiful down the street, does it? Al Cox is on YouTube, and Al sent me a message. Hey, Mark, any idea what has happened that we have had several news helicopters in the area. Yes, Al, I have an idea of what's going on. And so just to give you an update, if you just turned on Elgin's radio station since 1949, WRMN, I heard the helicopters overhead, and I got some information as quickly as possible from the commander, Mark Smith, from the American Legion, who's been tracking this a little bit. And he made me alert to the fact, let's see, just a short time ago, that there is a Level 2 hazmat response for an unknown white powder on the second floor of the police station. Hazmat 22 and multiple techs are on the scene. And Hazmat ID is also being requested from Bartlett as well. So Bartlett could be there. The Elgin Fire Department is there. The Elgin Operations Center is there. And that is what's going on right now. Let's see. I just reached out to the Chief of Police, Anna Lally, Badge 240, and she cannot come on the air for comment right now. So she's tied up in the whole situation, I guess, and is not available to give me an update by phone of what she knows at this point. But maybe at the next break, I'll see if Chief Rob Sagan happens to be available. But they're all probably down there in the Emergency Operations Center at the moment, trying to figure out exactly what the white powder is. It's a large response, I'll say that. But maybe they've had to evacuate the police station a little bit. I'm not sure why you would for white powder, but the lobby right now is not open at the police station. And if you have a non-emergency phone call, call the police station at 847-289-2700. That's 847-289-2700. As soon as I have any more information on that, we will pass it along to you. 1224 here at WRMN. Hour one of Out to Lunch. Sonar's in a little bit, and he will take over in the second hour today. If you want to call the show, it's 847-931-1410. Our Redemption Center is open now. And Matt can assist you if you want to come on by the radio station. You know, take a look down the street, see what's happening at the police department, then stop on into the radio station and order from the radio shopping show. You can visit us. We're at 14 Douglas Avenue. That'll give you an excuse to look at what's going on at the police station. Come to the radio station and visit us. We're about a half a block north of the Tower Building here in downtown Elgin on Douglas. And our Redemption Center will be open today from noon until 3. And the number to call Matt if you want to order something from the shop show today is 847-741-7700. That's 847-741-7700. And if you want to call between 3 and 6 this afternoon, Matt will be on the air for the radio shopping show. And the shop show on the air from 3 until 6. Phone number is 847-931-1410. That's the number here in the studio. 847-931-1410. In other news, we had a crash on Sunday night. Haven't heard any new information on the individual who was in critical condition after the crash. But we'll check the Kane County Facebook page here soon and see if there's any new information. But Sunday night on Route 38, the driver and several passengers on a Northern Illinois University bus were taken to a hospital after the bus collided with a car, Route 38 in Kane County on Sunday night. The driver of the car was also critically injured. A 25-year-old St. Charles woman was driving the 2021 Hyundai Venue north on Francis Road, in Virgil Township at about 8:40 p.m. and turning onto eastbound Route 38, the car collided with the bus. Authorities say the Hyundai made a wide right turn to head east and ended up in the westbound lane. The bus, which was headed west, was not able to avoid hitting the car and collided with it head-on. Several were injured in the collision, including passengers on the 2017 Gillig bus from Northern Illinois University. The bus was being used as a shuttle to the Elburn train station. Police did not know the exact number of passengers that were taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries. The driver of the bus, a 66-year-old Carpentersville man, was also taken to the hospital for the treatment of a minor injury. Meanwhile, the 25-year-old St. Charles woman suffered multiple traumatic injuries and was taken to Delnor Hospital in Geneva, later flown by helicopter to Loyola Medical Center in Maywood for further care. She was listed in critical condition. Cause of the crash remains under investigation, and we'll see if maybe we can update the condition of that lady as soon as possible. It appears as though she caused the crash by making a wide turn to head east onto Route 38. So crash on Sunday night about 8:40 involving a Northern Illinois bus taking some, students to the Elburn train station and colliding with someone driving towards St. Charles, and she was from St. Charles. 1228 here at WRMN. Got a couple of phone calls coming in. Let's see what's on your mind. 847-931-1410. Northwest West and Northwest Wesley Jr. II. Always checking in on YouTube, and it's not Junior, of course. He's in school. But Northwest West says, good afternoon, lunch shifters. Hope you are having a great day so far. All right, well, let's see what you got on the line for us at 847-931-1410. Good morning. Welcome to Out to Lunch.
Yeah, I was just wondering, when can you pick up down there?
Between 12 and 3.
Okay, thank you.
Monday through Friday. All right, thanks. All right, yeah, the Redemption Center is open between 12 and 3, Monday through Friday. If you want to come down and see us, like right now, Matt is down there, so you can come by and pick up your items if you've ordered from the radio shopping show. Back to the phones, 847-931-1410. Good afternoon. Welcome to Out to Lunch.
Mark, this is Joel.
Hey, Joel, what's happening, buddy?
Well, I hope that powder isn't sugar or flour.
Me too, I guess.
Be a lot of fuss over it. Anyway, I hope nobody gets harmed by it. Anyway, I'll tell you really why I'm calling is I'm really concerned about that Middle East right now.
Yeah.
You know, Iran and Israel have exchanged offensive charges, and now Israel is contemplating doing it again. And I'm just afraid that if Israel does another offensive thing, it's going to get real bad real quick. And I just hope for humanity's sake that doesn't happen. I'm not going to take sides in this thing. I'm no pal of the Iranian government, but I don't know if the young people in Iran are so much along. You know, the girls were having problems. They couldn't even have their faces shown. So there's a lot of turmoil in that country. But anyway, things could get bad. A lot of times when dictators have problems at home, they resort to a crisis. And, you know, an offense towards Israel could be it.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate your thoughts, Joel. You doing okay today?
I'm doing fine. I'm just really concerned. Both of these wars, the Ukrainian war too, my view on that is that we really should help Ukraine. What kind of ally of NATO are we if we're not helping? That could be the first domino, you know. I mean, in Vietnam, the domino theory was suggested, but I never bought that at all. But anyway, this is a little bit different. That Putin is like a Hitler. Once he gets one, he's going to get another one. He had no reason to go into Ukraine. And I think it's really important that we support him with our arms, not our blood, but our arms. We got plenty of arms, and they should be used for a good purpose, like freedom.
Right.
Okay, I'll step aside, Mark. Thanks for letting me express my ideas, and maybe you'll get some more calls on these matters.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling, Joel.
Anyway, yeah, good afternoon to you and everybody.
All right, take care.
Yeah, Yeah, bye.
Bye. Joel by the Riverside chiming in. He follows what's going on around the world, and of course this has been going on, and a lot of people locally should and do have interest in what's happening with the Ukraine and the fighting going on around the world. So thanks for your thoughts, Joel. If you have any other thoughts on that, you're welcome to call here during Out to Lunch at 847-931-1410. All right, what else is happening? Let's see. 69 degrees outside this hour. And I just saw a story. Well, we do have a slight chance of severe weather. The Chicago area is at risk for severe storms later on this afternoon and into the evening. A line of potentially severe storms is expected to move into the Chicago area this evening. The Storm Prediction Center has most of the Chicago area under a slight risk for severe weather. Parts of western Illinois are under an enhanced risk for severe weather. A warm front moving into the area could set off a few storms here in the early afternoon. But these storms, if they happen here early in the afternoon, are not expected to be severe. Then a second line of storms will begin west of I-39 later this afternoon and could reach the western suburbs between 5 and 7 p.m. So we're looking at the dinner time window there, or maybe a late afternoon drive between 5 and 7. Here in the area, keep an eye out on the weather at that time. The main risk for the storms will be high winds, large hail, with a low tornado risk. Additional storms are also possible tomorrow morning, but mainly over in northwest Indiana. So keep an eye out for that. That's a slight chance for severe storms later on, and it would appear as if the Fox River Valley would be at highest risk between 5 and 7 this afternoon, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. 12:34 here at WRMN. While we're on the air this afternoon with Matt, he'll keep an eye on the weather for you. If we have any warnings or watches or whatnot, he'll pass those along. He's got the afternoon radio shopping show for you today between 3 and 6. And you can call him and shop at 847-931-1410. All right, let me track a little more news for you, and I'll come back with that. We'll have some First Shift 411 on the way. And also let you know what's happening on the radio shopping show today. Phone lines are still open. Sonar takes over an hour or two. And again, if you're in the downtown Elgin area right now, and you see a large commotion in front of the police station, what we know at this point is that the Elgin Fire Department is on the scene. The Emergency Operations Center has even been brought over there in front of the police station. And there is an unknown substance located inside the Elgin Police Department. The fire department initiated a hazmat response and is currently investigating the substance, which is contained in a small area within the department. So it's all about a little substance, I guess, that was found at the police station, and the block looks like it's in complete turmoil down there with the Emergency Operations Center and everything else down there. So if you require non-emergency assistance, contact the non-emergency number at the police station, 847-289-2700, but the lobby is currently closed. It's 12:35 here at WRMN, and this is Out to Lunch, and we will be right back.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines. But most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750.
Oh no, I just hit that post and my car's got a dent.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Mako is America's body shop. They're the world's largest provider of paint and collision services. They're located at 212 Western Avenue in Carpentersville, across from Spring Hill Mall. I've used them. Check out my car.
Wow, looking good.
Everything was so easy and affordable. Hummer and staff were super friendly and really knew their stuff.
I'm going to call them now.
Mention WRMN 1410 at the Carpentersville Mako and receive 10% off today.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch, 1239 here at WRMN. Hour one of our 2-hour show today. Sonar's in shortly with a second hour. Phone lines open at 847-931-1410. And I think we're going to check a little first shift 411 for you now. Some information, some things going on around the area as I've been tracking them. One thing is going on actually this afternoon. It's over at the Elgin Community College. And I'm also going to share some information that Sherry Aschenbrenner shared with me earlier this morning about a senior wellness event that's going on over at the Elgin Community College next Friday. But let's start with today. And as we start with today, I thank Andrea from ECC for sending me this email. The Elgin Community College and Early Childhood Access Consortium are hosting the first Early Childhood Education Job Fair. It is going on today from 5 until 7:30 on campus on Spartan Drive. At 1700 Spartan Drive. It is a free and public event, and it will take place inside the atrium of Building E. Local childhood education centers will be present to hire lead teacher and assistant teacher positions. About 20 employers will be attending. So if you are looking for a job as a lead teacher or an assistant teacher, maybe it's a job fair you want to try to attend today. 5 until 7:30 over at 1700 Spartan Drive. Those who attend can also discuss grant and workforce opportunities with ECC's Strategic Partnership and Experimental Learning Department. Event recruiters will include a combination of local, religious-based, and corporate centers recruiting for various teaching positions. ECC is planning its regular job fair in the fall for all career professions. So this is limited a little bit. It's not a full job fair. They're going to have a full job fair for all careers in the fall. But today, 5 until 7:30, lead teachers and assistant teachers, those positions will be present at the event today. So I guess show up if you want to, if you think you qualify or you want to find out more about it. It's between 5 and 7:30 this afternoon over at Elgin Community College. 847-931-1410 here on Out to Lunch. The Drug-Free Dash, as I mentioned, going on this Saturday. It's a 5K. And it's a 5K that'll start just north of the library. I appreciate Nicole Wheatley for being with me on the show yesterday. It is a 5K and a 2-mile walk. Our friends downtown Jose and Sidekick Susan said they might walk in it. It's at 8 o'clock this Saturday morning, and it's $35 for adults if you want to get in. Only $5 for runners and walkers age 20 and under. You can bring some used sneakers, it says here, for recycling. The race begins north of the Gale Borden Library at 270 Grove Avenue. That's where the library is. And if you have any questions, call 224-407-2209. That's 224-407-2209. You can always also send an email to cshelgin@gmail.com. That's cshelgin@gmail.com. But call that phone number if you want to find out maybe how to enter the 5K. That's coming up this Saturday morning. 224-407-2209, the number to call. 12:45 here at WRMN, sharing a little first shift 411 for you as we make our way through this hour. On Totally Free Tuesday on the Radio Shopping Show, I'll tell you what's free in just a couple of minutes when I talk about the shop show. But let's go to the phones now and take a phone call and see what's on your mind here on Out to Lunch. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Is that me?
It is you. Hi.
Hi. I'm in need of a lawnmower.
You need one?
Pardon?
You need a lawnmower?
Right.
Okay.
So, anyone's out there, please give me a call at 224.
Yeah?
224. Oh, well, no.
What's the rest of the phone number?
224.
Yeah?
Oh, my God. 81. Hold on, I forgot it. Oh, my God. 824.
That's funny. That's okay.
224-281-9133.
Okay, that's 224-281-9133, right?
Correct.
Okay, 224-281-9133. So you're looking for a lawnmower if somebody has an extra lawnmower that they don't need anymore?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for calling. All right, there you go. I remember her. I remember her voice from the old Tradio days. Got an extra lawnmower? I actually have an extra lawnmower, but I'm not sure who would be pushing it. And I think it's a pretty old school lawnmower. And it might be a little bit too tough for her to handle, unless she's got someone that's going to handle the lawnmower in her place. But I would even have a hard time starting it. It's sitting in my shed. It's been sitting there for a couple of years, so I'm not sure the lawnmower option that I have for her is the right one. But if you have a lawnmower that you don't need anymore, maybe she'll buy it from you. You can call her, 224-281-9133. All right, it is 12:47 here at WRMN. If you're just joining us, thank you for listening. Sonar will have the second hour coming up later this afternoon. Straight Talk Money from 2 until 3. And the Radio Shopping Show with Matt from 3 until 6. There's an incident that's been, well, I'm not sure if incident's the right word, but there's a situation going on down the street over at the Elgin Police Department. And in fact, I'll tell you what, I just got a text back from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan. The police chief was tied up. She was unable to give me a report, but the fire chief is available. So why don't we see if we can hook up with Fire Chief Rob Sagan to explain. Apparently, the situation has wrapped up. Now, the vehicles might still be down there at the Elgin Police Station, where they've had a hazmat response to some white powder that was discovered on the second floor. So I will get an update from Chief Rob Sagan, Elgin Fire Chief, in just a moment. First, let's take this phone call right quick at 847-931-1410. Good afternoon. Welcome to Out to Lunch.
Is this Tradio by chance?
Yes, it can be Tradio, too. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Is this Mark?
It is.
Hi, it's Linda. You mowed lawns for me at my mom's before, South Elgin.
Yeah. How you been?
Yeah. I'm good. I just wanted to advertise that I have 2 different estates that I'm currently working on, and both of them have quite a bit of jewelry, and there's some that's like sterling and gold, and I want by appointment only. If anybody's interested, like if they're a dealer or whatever, and they want to come and look at it, I can meet them somewhere or something like that. Give me a call. I live in Huntley. I'm willing to drive, Elgin, South Elgin, whatever. We're, within a, 15, 20-mile radius is no problem.
Okay.
To meet somebody. 847-271-8219. Again, 847-271-8219. And I'll talk to you later. Take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
You too. Thanks for calling. 847-271-8219 is the number to call her. Haven't heard from her in a while. It's nice to hear some old Tradio voices from the past when I used to do Tradio a few years back here on the radio station. Matt does Tradio as a part of his afternoon radio show, so you're always welcome to call this show. Sonar and I don't mind. It's kind of a multi-purpose show. Sometimes we have guests, we share news, we share information, we just chat, like I did with Joel by the Riverside a short time ago. So it's kind of an open forum for you. Out to lunch, and of course we're going to broadcast live as often as we can. And Stevie T was here just a short time ago. And I guess he had to meet with Dino for a couple of minutes. But Stevie T is going to be in on Friday, but we're not going to be here. We're going to be down the street at Rediscover Records. It should be interesting. We got to do a little testing, make sure we can do this, play records from a remote location. So we'll bring it all together in the next couple of days. I know we can. We have Sonar the Savant on the staff. He can make it happen. But Rediscover Records is right around the corner on Spring Street, pretty much the corner of Spring in Chicago, about a block from here, block and a half maybe. And we look forward to playing some records. It's the day before National Record Store Day. Vinyl's going to be hot this weekend. So we'll have a live broadcast for you on Friday for the first hour of Out to Lunch. Join us for that. And we'd love to have you come visit us if you'd like to, or at least listen to the show, and stop by and see Rich Wagner, who I'm sure will be our guest for at least a part of that hour, to talk about vinyl. What's hot these days? Where does he get all his vinyl from? Is it all from donations that people make? How does he get the vinyl that he sells at Rediscover Records? Lots of good questions for Rich. Steve Thorne, myself, will carry you through it. That'll be this Friday from noon until 1 right here on WRMN. We got some future out to lunches to announce here coming soon, and future live programs as well, so stick around for that. We like to take the show on the road when we can. All right, well, the chief has reached out to me. I've asked him if he'd call the hotline. Haven't heard from him yet, so let me just try to call him real quick while I play this short break, and maybe we can end the hour with a quick update on what has taken place down the street over the past couple of hours here on Out to Lunch on WRMN. We'll be right back.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of a radio shopping show.
Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900. All right, we're back on Out to Lunch. It's 12:54. It has been a busy couple of hours down the street. And for an update on what's happened, where we had a little hazmat response going on, and the Elgin Operations Center was down there. We've got the fire chief, City of Elgin, with us right now. It's Rob Soggins taking the time out of his busy morning to call us. Hey, Chief, how are you?
Hi, Mark. I'm doing well.
Yeah, so what exactly occurred down the street the last couple of hours?
So earlier this morning, we had a envelope delivered to the police department that ended up having a unknown type of powder in it. And when it was opened, that powder got onto a desk, got onto one of the officers, and because it was unknown and there were some notes in there, to my understanding, which I don't know what those said, there was an indicator that this could be intentional hazardous materials type situation. So they called us, which is what we do, hazardous materials response, and we brought in our necessary resources, and we have the capability of being able to test various types of chemicals, powders, liquids, and to identify what they are made of. But it's a lengthy process. So once we arrived on scene, it took a little bit of time to get all the different resources to assemble on scene with us. And then we ultimately had our hazardous materials team go in, and they identified the product to be a non-hazardous material.
A non-hazardous material? Do you know what the material was that was identified?
It was a type of dye. So something that would be something used for like a henna tattoo, those fake tattoos that you can get put on. amusement parks and things like that, there was a dye that's used for those. Hair dye, it can be used in hair dye, that type of thing. So a non-hazardous material that was identified through our testing process.
Oh, it was just had been delivered to the police station and was maybe suspicious a little bit. That was the reason for the call?
Well, because whenever there's an unknown powder, and these are not necessarily that uncommon for us to respond to, is if there's an unknown substance, it doesn't even have to be a powder, an unknown substance that is identified, especially when it comes in the mail. We have this happen in businesses. We've had this happen at the police station before. We always treat it as a hazardous material until proven otherwise. And being that the police department and City Hall, for example, and the appellate court building, we have a number of buildings in town that would invite a person who wanted to do nefarious things to be able to send something to those agencies.
Yeah.
And so whenever we get a call at those types of facilities, it's what we call a credible threat. So it's a credible threat until proven otherwise. And that's why you saw the large response that we have. That's a standard response for us whenever we have a hazardous materials incident.
Wow. I know I mentioned to you right before we went on the air here that we only had like 3 minutes. We have a couple more minutes, so I know you're probably in a hurry too. But I saw that the Emergency Operations Center was down there. Was it put into use for this event or this incident? Yeah,
it was, and it was used exactly in the same sense that which is why we purchased it. It was a coordination point for us. So I was in there with the police chief, a member of her command staff, a member of my command staff, and we were able to coordinate the response inside of that vehicle. And it was, we were out of the noise, we were out of the wind. It worked exactly the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. Was the police station evacuated during that situation, during that time?
We had a partial evacuation of the police station in the area where the powder was, and then we shut off the air conditioning and ventilation system, the HVAC system, to ensure that if there was any powder that was airborne, it wouldn't be sucked through the system and then transported throughout the entire building through the ductwork. So that's how we were able to isolate it and then not have to evacuate everybody out of the building.
Okay. All right, Chief. Well, thank you so much on short notice here for joining me and giving me a little update on the situation. Anything else you want to share real quick before we let you go?
No, I think that sums it all up.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Chief.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Chief Rob Sagan, Elgin Fire Department, with a quick update. So, it looked like a lot more, I guess in retrospect, right? It looked like a lot more than it turned out to be. If you were driving around the downtown area, you saw the emergency operations vehicle, and you saw fire trucks and everything else, and I guess it calls for that type of response in case it is something very serious. You have to do that type of investigation, but I guess the good news is it was a lot about not much, but I'm sure the investigation still is going on. So just a quick update, a wrap-up from the Elgin Police Department Facebook page before we wrap up and kick it to a top-of-the-hour break, and Sonar will take over in the second hour. The Elgin Fire Department has identified the substance as non-hazardous and is clearing the scene. The police department is now back open, and normal business operations are back in effect. So if you want to stop at the lobby this afternoon, you can do that. And, of course, the non-emergency number is 847-289-2700. And all's well that ends well, I do suppose, down at the police station this afternoon. It is 1 o'clock. There's a chance of a little severe weather later on in the evening. I would say best chance here would be between 5 and 7. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. We're at 73 degrees, which was the supposed daytime high, so we've reached that. And it's very breezy outside. It does seem a little bit stormy, or like conditions are right for the storm, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Chance of rain this afternoon. More coming up in hour 2 of Out to Lunch. Thanks for listening to this hour. Sonar standing by, and we will kick it into his hour in just a couple of moments. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on the first shift right here on WRMN. Have a great day.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, The Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at The Distance Social.
Looking to get your fingers on some delicious grub? Look no further than Sticky Fingers in Carpentersville. Family owned and operated, Sticky Fingers specializes in chicken, fish, and shrimp, which you can choose to have dusted with flavor or doused in the sauce of your choice. Sticky Fingers strives to provide flavorful food with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Sticky Fingers personally invites you to stop by and try one of their scrumptious dishes today.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687.
How many times have you heard about or driven past the Volo Auto Museum and still haven't checked it out? They have over 200,000 square feet of heated showrooms filled with countless collections of the most amazing mechanical marvels in the world. From incredible collector cars, movie cars, trains, boats, and planes, to a Disney gallery, dinosaurs, vintage arcades, kiddie rides, and a medieval torture exhibit, plus the Titanic Museum. They're open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit volofun.com.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch with WRMN. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I'll be taking you through the next hour of Out to Lunch with WRMN. Why do we call it Out to Lunch? Well, we call it Out to Lunch because you can take WRMN out to lunch with you. We're a broadcast. We are a digital stream. We are multiple different places for you to pick up, put us in your pocket, drive around, connect your headphones, play the speaker, turn us up all the way to 11. That's right, WRMN 1410 AM, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and the home of radio shopping. I was just delivered today's deals. Totally free Tuesday. Oh, get out of here. Free shipping with a $10 order. Don't forget that $10 order also gets you a free bingo card and the mail order as it goes. Let me hold you up for the camera as well. You spend $25, we'll get you 2 free bingo cards, mail orders going out, McD's, and a Culver's for Tuesday's Scoopy Night. For the choir right there. How do I find these deals? Who printed them out for me? How are they in my hands right now? Don't fret, don't frown. You can go to WRMN1410.com and see those daily deals. There's just a little tab right there. You just click on the button, you know, with the thing. It says the daily deals. Follow the prompts and it will show you those daily deals. You can find those daily deals and earn those daily deals by calling the Redemption Center right now, 16 Douglas. That is 847-741-7700. That's the Redemption Center at 16 Douglas. You can see that. We do have a great shot of Douglas. We check in on Douglas real quick. There it is. There's Douglas. Let's turn my overlay back on too so I know where I am and what I'm doing. But that's great. Lots and lots of things that are happening, especially Tuesday News Day. We just got off of the phone with the Elgin Elgin Fire. And that was Marky B who did that. There was a substance that was found just down the block. And I believe it was henna tattoo stuff, if I'm following what's going on. But before I get too deep into the news, we've got to bring in my favorite executive producer that's out there, and that would be Bendemonium Boquest. The other thing I've got going on, it looks like somebody did just call into the line. Give me one moment. Let's see who's here. Hello, caller. How are you? Hello, caller. Well, that's what you get when you give out the number. Robots call you, Ben. But right here on the phone with us right now is Bendemonium Boquest. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Hey, man, yeah. Anytime on the show. It's a great day. And a Tuesday News Day of all days. Come on.
Hey.
Got to be on Tuesday News Day.
Hey, I also got to do Tuesday News Day because I just got off the phone yesterday with News Nation. That's an Nexstar Media Group. We've talked about them before, and The Hill and all of that. We are now signed up for their correspondent program where we can start bringing on a few more of those correspondents and also reporters to dive a little bit deeper into some of these things here. Great connection. We want to start bringing the national news down to the local level so we can ask those questions. It's really hard to call in to some of those national programs. We want to make sure that we can still get our 2 cents out there to people. So it'll be great. I've got some news clips that will help us today as part of onboarding with them. But News Nation, if you get a chance, go ahead and check them out. They've WGN and a couple other places use them. It's a CBS Nexstar group type of thing. But Tuesday News Day, Ben, lots and lots of things that are happening in the news. Historical things. We're going once again to New York City. New York City's got some news going on right now. I don't know if you've heard this, but there is a former president that is under trial right now. And this is absolute news, man. This has never happened before. Any president being essentially put on criminal trial. Civil, sure. But here we've got actual criminal trial for a former president. Let's just take that in for a second, Ben.
Yeah, I can't believe they finally got Jimmy Carter, though.
It's the peanut smuggling is what it was.
Yeah.
He was lying about how much his peanut stuff was worth. But more potential jurors. Let's see if we can flex our News Nation stuff right here. More potential jurors are being dismissed from the Donald Trump trial in New York. Today is day 2. trying to find an impartial jury for this case. They need a panel of 12 jurors and 6 alternatives before they can proceed. Trump is accused of falsifying business records to hide payments about infidelities. He denies the charges.
I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you get indicted over that?
While some in the jury pool admit they cannot be impartial, dozens of others still have to be questioned. I listened to my lawyers a good defense for criminal activity?
Unfortunately, it seems like it it works a lot sometimes, but honestly, no. Depending on the judge, I feel like that's my friends were doing it, so I thought it was a cool graduated excuse in legal terms. And yeah, I mean, that great audio, by the way. That was great.
Well, thank you, News Nation.
It sounded like an old clip from the 30s or 40s. Like that was part of history right there.
Well, he was in that tunnel where they kind of just like rope him off, and I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe to prevent it from being a giant spectacle, they have to kind of like, no, you're going to have to stand 25 feet away from everybody, type of thing, just to kind of prevent it from being crazy. I don't know if it's a Secret Service issue either. But here's my issue: is the lawyer that's in question, where I listen to my lawyer, they want to turn around and then defame as well, or not defame. I guess they want to turn around and tell the truth about how he lied under oath. So is Michael Cohen a liar, or is he somebody that that you listen to and take legal advice from? So, I mean, both of these things could be true in the timeline of everything, but I mean, that's the argument right here, it seems to be.
Yeah, it's the what has Trump done for you lately? And if you're like a lot of people who worked with him and has been responsible for you going to prison, you're probably not going to be continuously in his corner. So that's just everybody who the guy deals with. So it's interesting that there's so much going on in the world and the election and everything, and this is probably the biggest story that there is right now. The former president being in all these court cases at once. It's just, man, yeah. I really hope that some justice is served with all the clown show and the just ridiculousness of everything, and like as if politics wasn't bad enough before all this stuff.
Now you're attacking presidents.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. It's so much of a spectacle that I just hope something at least comes of it.
Well, we were talking about taxes yesterday. If Donald Trump's New York trial lasts more than 6 weeks, it could cost New York City an estimated $1 to $2 million. News Nation's Emily Fenn.
Legal analysts say selecting jury members will be the biggest challenge and likely take up the most time. The Independent Budget Office of the City of New York confirmed there will be significant overtime for court staff and security personnel during the former president's trial. The Secret Service is working with the NYPD to close down roads and limit people who are allowed inside of the courthouse. Now, the Office of Court Administration confirmed to News Nation no new personnel has been hired, adding that budgets are not delineated by specific high-profile cases, suggesting that the city's resources are going to be stretched pretty thin.
It could cost more if the court proceedings are not speedy. But, delay is usually the tactic that some lawyers will take to not name names. But that is a thing. The other thing I want to hit on, too, Ben, is there's a lot of speculation out there about Donald Trump not being able to make his son's graduation. that is what the judge is talking about, what they proposed instead of just like, just take the day off, which is what the judge has essentially compromised for. They requested to delay the entire trial until the graduation. And some of these graduations, and it's for everybody's graduation, not just Trump's family's graduations, his lawyers' graduations, and the paralegals' families' graduations. And the judge said, look, but depending on where we're going to be, but some of these graduations are in June. So they were requesting to delay the trial even further, to delay it all the way until June or so just for these. And thank you, Dad and Son Do It All, for checking in. We are having a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed the Newsday Tuesday. If anybody wants to check out a great YouTube channel, that's right, that's Dad and Son Do It All. So Benjamin, would you be able to delay your entire court proceeding until, graduation? Like, could you just imagine that? Just like, no, I'm sorry, Judge, I can't make it. It'll be my son's 6th birthday in October.
Yeah, I would not be able to delay a case because of that. It's so funny, the virtue signaling. This is like the way that the Republicans play dirty politics now, is that they just virtual signal that, they got to do all this wholesome stuff, which is why they can't, show up to criminal proceedings, which they're being prosecuted for. Like, could they think of anything more like wholesome than like family graduation? Which, of course, everybody wants to be at the family graduation. Like, what I'm thinking, what else could there have been? Like, I'm going to build a bear for homeless children or something.
It's Taco Tuesday next week, and I can't make it. So I know it's Wednesday, but can we just hold it off until next Wednesday? Because it's Taco Tuesday on Tuesday, so we need to prepare.
Yeah, I'm washing. I got a bunch of people's feet to wash at church, and I got a shift at the soup kitchen. So can we just delay all this stuff?
I'm running for president. Can we just push it back? So that's it. So this is the other question: is should we have these speedy trials because of the election? So let's say all of the people that say that he is innocent, and wouldn't we want to know that he's innocent as a matter of fact before the election happens? That's where I would turn around and say, look, if the guy's innocent, let's get a speedy trial. Say that he's innocent. Let's get this thing done, and let's stop living in this wishy-washy, did this thing happen, not happen. Right to speedy trial is not just for the people that are being punished or the people that are under investigation. Right to speedy trial is also for the victim or the people that are bringing the case up. So there's this back and forth that's happening.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is that on like the right conservative side, it's so much the story that the executive branch controls the courts and the judicial and everything to the point where judges are making really dumb partisan decisions. I saw a case recently where a judge let go someone for a white supremacist for a hate crime, citing that we should be more worried about Antifa. Like, okay, like if you're worried about Antifa, yes, be like charge them with the crimes they commit, but don't let somebody else off because of obvious racial motivations and stuff. But I brought that up because it just shows how much instead of working to make the legal system objective and work for everybody and fair, it's more like delay until we can control it, and it's it's a ridiculous way to to do politics. It's not only ridiculous, it's not productive for anybody. It's not good for the country. It's not good for crime, not good for business.
Yeah.
It's just really, really bogus front to what they think is the justice system, where, you said it yourself. If he's innocent, go ahead and do this trial. And
let's get it done. Well, and you're talking about judges too, right? So he's also not going to be able to appear at his Supreme Court hearing either. The judge said that he is supposed to be here in court for criminal court. That is just a hearing for the Supreme Court. News Nation's Dre Clark has more.
Following yesterday's first day of court, the judge actually was blasted by the former president, Mr. Trump, saying that he was very upset that the judge has decided that he will not excuse him from a day in court so that Mr. Trump can attend his son's high school graduation. Now, the judge said he has not made his determination on if he will grant Mr. Trump that excusal. However, the former president making it very clear that he doesn't even like the possibility of waiting to get that decision. He should be allowed to attend his son's graduation.
Yeah. So that's just part of it there for the SCOTUS. But to go back to the SCOTUS for that, they also have a hearing today. Supreme Court is hearing arguments today in a case that could invalidate felony obstruction charges for more than 300 people connected with the Capitol attack. Justice Clarence Thomas skipped Monday's session. News Nation's Tom Dempsey.
A big mystery remains over whether or not Justice Clarence Thomas will be in the courtroom. He's the oldest sitting member of the Supreme Court, but no reason was given on Monday for why he missed official proceedings. Like I said, usually in this sort of circumstance, if a justice misses time due to something like sickness, that gets announced by the Chief Justice of the court. Chief Justice John Roberts did say Thomas would participate and follow the argued cases through briefs and transcripts. Thomas, of course, though, has faced some controversy over the last year. Last April, in fact, ProPublica released a report alleging Thomas accepted luxury trips over 2 decades from a mega donor for the Republican Party.
Well, they're going to keep bringing that up for as long as that guy's around. But the other thing is his wife, Jenny Thomas, was putting a lot of tweets over to, Mark Meadows at the time. A lot of Biden crime family will be on a barge out in Gitmo, et cetera, et cetera. We got a caller. Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
4 questions or to place a stop action.
Oh, well, so you got more people calling us in. I don't know if that is, we've been getting a lot more of robocalls since we've been giving out the number on the old YouTubes out there. So don't be a robot. Call us at any time, 847-931-1410. So what do you think about that side of it, man? This is a January 6th case as well, but the issue is that Clarence Thomas has been hospitalized 2 years ago for an infection. I believe he is also the longest serving right now, or at least the oldest that's happening. So, but they're always going to bring up the luxury trips and whatever potential bribes that are out there. I mean, the Supreme Court's the only court that doesn't have to abide by its own judicial code of conduct.
Yeah, no, it's completely out of hand, and to the point where Alito even said that there's no check on the Supreme Court by the executive branch.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up came out and said that last year, which it's just so upside down. It's upside down right now. It's rough because it's everyone plays it like, oh, it's the game and there has to be a winner and a loser, and it's you have to make your reality. Well, like, when the reality is straight up fascist like totalitarian, not having checks and balances, which is what really our government is supposed to be all about. That it works for everybody.
Well, it seems like everybody wants to
the,
be, instead of the checks and balances and working together, it seems like everybody wants to be the tail that wags the dog. Like everybody wants to be that small little thing. Well, I'm on the gains and means committee, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to hold my vote off until we start working on hospitals in Tibet. Like that's the weird like stuff that we've seen with a lot of these people. Look at the saga of Tuberville that we had with everything. Yep. He turned around and said, "I will not commission these new officers until the Department of Justice does something that I don't like them to, that I want them to do." Like, I think that's what's happening is there's this weird power grab instead of this collaboration. When we move to this tribalism of splitting everybody between these, well, if you don't live in this party, you obviously live in that party. That's it. That's you're either the us or them mentalities for everything. You're going to eventually get those groups that say, well, the only way I can get anything done is if I'm the only one in charge. The Dr. Doom approach. You save the world by being the dictator and ruler of the entire world. If you read the comics with Dr. Doom in it, that's essentially his whole shtick. Is I've been to the future so many times and so many different things. The only way I know that I can save the planet is if I'm the ruler of it. So instead of compromising and working together with the checks and the balances that we've got, everybody's got their thumb on the scale. So our balances are all off of who can apply the most pressure instead of, hey, let's all do our parts to balance this entire country out.
Mm-hmm. Amen, man. Yeah, that's really how it's being operated these days. It's sad that that we're at this point, and it's like it's supposed to be the right hand wash. One hand washes the other, and instead people are just like having dirty one hands, and then just like cleaning. I don't know. It's just not using both their hands to do things. I feel like there's so much you said it, a dichotomy of, or maybe that's not the right word, but a divide in how it's all left wing or all right wing, when in reality the majority of all Americans are more center than left or right. It's just that the left or right extremes get the most loud, and they're the ones that unfortunately in Washington, when it's such a boiled down version of politics that they are playing, that's where it is. You got to choose a side. It's where you hear the blue no matter who, or red whatever the rhyme is, always vote Republican slogan is. But yeah, I just wish that people would be more policy based, and that was how we did things. Yeah, we've talked about it before. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we just do our own votes? Vote on policy issues a little bit more. I think at a local level that makes sense.
Yeah, bring the people back into it at that point. Whether you're a elephant or a donkey or a hedgehog, or what do the libertarians use? Porcupines, whatever you are. There's room for everybody. Let's get some compromisation over here, if that is a word. I have to double check on that one. So our friends over at the San Diego Zoo have a turtles exhibit. We love the San Diego Zoo because there's a lot of live streams that are over there. Dozens of tortoises are back in the wild after spending the winter at an Air Force base. 70 Mojave Desert turtles were watched and cared for under the guidance of wildlife experts. That involved taking them outside so that they would be prepared to get back into the wild. These tortoises are endangered but it seems like they learn fast. Melissa Merrick is with the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
We will continue to track them throughout the year, at least once or twice a month. And so we'll understand their movements post-release, what sorts of habitat features that they're selecting for to spend their time resting or foraging in.
Within a day of returning to their native habitat, the tortoises were constructing new burrows and modifying existing ones for shelter. Researchers will also check on how they're dealing with possible predators. Hey, some good news, getting things out of captivity and back into it. Brooks was here type of stuff. I hope doesn't happen with any of these turtles. They're institutionalized enough. But if I was going to be institutionalized by anything, I would hope it would be the San Diego Zoo.
Right, yeah, that'd be a life you could get used to, living at our favorite zoo to live stream from.
That is there.
That's good. Turtle.
Go ahead.
Love turtle.
Love
turtle news
turtles.
has been in the news too. There was a recent repopulation of a bunch of other species of sea turtles, I believe in Georgia, that they just released off a beach, an article that I was reading. So 'tis the season for awesome turtle stuff. And again, yesterday I saw another turtle.
Hey, up on the river there, or the canal?
Yep, the canal.
That's
Yep.
amazing. Hey, don't forget that you can always shop 24 hours a day at WRMN1410.com. What can you shop for? Well, I'll tell you, you could shop for some great gift certificates that are out there. And you can check out the daily deals. If you spend $10 with us throughout today, you will get your free bingo card. Lots and lots of free stuff. $30 or more, 3 free bingo cards, mail, McDee's, Culver's, and a date night choice. More at 3 p.m. today for deals, drive time deals with Matt McNeil. We'll be right back with Out to Lunch after these.
Fun times in the mornings. Listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
Keep informed with everything that's going on with the Radio Shopping Show by joining our VIP Text Club today. All you have to do is text the message WRMN 1410 to the number 94253 and you're in. You'll receive timely information about shopping show specials instantaneously as they happen. Message and data rates may apply. The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show, we are WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
WRMN has been serving Elgin and the Fox Valley for 75 years, featuring a combination of local news, information, and entertainment in the mornings, followed by the Radio Shopping Show for 5 hours each weekday. The first shift with Marky B starts your morning at 6 a.m., and it's always fun when Larry Jones is a part of the show.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
Can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
And then there'll be a lot of people that come out of the
It's
that
like,
I also hazed
I
them.
remember when Mark hazed me. I've been hazed.
Mark hazed me back in 2012.
2012. I remember in Memphis one time. He was really mean to me.
It's first shift fun and information in the morning, combined with the Radio Shopping Show to save you money. And you get it right here on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook, and WRMN1410.com.
Taqueria Las Cumbres, Crystal Lake's authentic Mexican restaurant on Grant Street, is open for carryout. For over 15 years, Taqueria Las Cumbres has been serving up all of your favorite Mexican dishes and doing it better than the rest. Recently voted the best in McHenry County. Stop in and carry out the authentic taste of Mexico and see for yourself. Support local for lunch and dinner today and place an order from Taqueria Las Cumbres. Call 815-455-8200 for Taqueria Las Cumbres of downtown Crystal Lake.
Hailing from Tanzania, you'll be thrilled to see the Zuzu African acrobats celebrate the 2,000-year-old Bantu culture of East Africa. The Zuzu acrobats have performed on America's Got Talent, and you can see their incredible acrobatics and energizing African drumming, singing, and dancing this Saturday at 4 at the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb. Each performance has incredible gravity-defying stunts while displaying the grace, beauty, and strength of the African culture. Visit EgyptianTheater.org.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch with WRMN. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I'll be taking you with the rest of the hour. It's already 38 past. We've got lots and lots of news, as Marky B calls it. Newsday Tuesday. I love it. I like it. I cannot wait because most of the time elections are on Tuesdays. So I am a political junkie. I love it. I love listening to all of the different takes and the different policies and all of the different perspectives that we've got. I love the free speech aspect of our politics. So I want to hear more of it. Like always, I want to hear from you. Call in Studio 14, 847-931-1410 to hop in. An update on the Elgin Police Department's post from earlier. On Tuesday, April 16th at 11:02, the Elgin Fire Department was contacted due to an unknown substance that was located inside the Elgin Police Department. The Elgin Fire Department initiated hazmat response and is currently investigating the substance. I've got a update on that. They have identified the substance. This was just about an hour ago. The Elgin Fire Department has identified the substance as non-hazardous and will be clearing the scene shortly. The police department is back open and normal business operations are in effect. So I think they've already cleaned up the block that was in front of it, but they have cleaned it up. We are so thankful that everybody is safe, and it's good that they had that rapid response to get that taken care of. That's something that people train for often, and it's something that you don't really want to happen in real life. I'm glad that they've got some great training and some great personnel over there to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, one of those unfortunately common things that happens too, that you hear about all the time, substance either being left or sent to people. And yeah, great response. You don't hear that often locally on local news and stuff, but yeah, what did you say earlier? It was like a tattoo powder
I
or
think
something, like a dye.
Yeah, I think it was a dye pack of those temporary henna tattoos or something along those lines that was sent over. I think that's what the fire chief said when he was talking with Mark. But they did say it was non-hazardous. It is just something that they're going to be cleaning up.
Okay. Well, yeah. glad everything's all right and that they had the procedures in place to get that figured out quickly and safely. So
that's the way to do it. You call it away, and then you get the team. Call it away, quarantine, get the team to clean it up, and then figure out what you've got. But you've got to treat everything as if it is hazardous. You can't just look at it and go, you know what, it probably isn't benign, because that's the time that's going to get you. Is that. So being a sailor, we were doing things like that all the time.
Yeah, it leads back to good training, and cops and firefighters are no strangers to being put in those positions where they have to be around stuff that, they got to make a decision on, is this safe or not? And it leads back to good training. And if everybody took their job seriously, and it was had stringent training and exercises like that, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, looking at you, Boeing. Looking at you, Boeing.
Right.
Looking at you. I mean, you can't even have non-emergency procedures that are followed. So it's there. Speaking of procedures, things that is normal, I don't know if you know this or not, but NASA just likes to drop space junk around because it knows that it will burn up in the atmosphere. Well, according to The Verge and also NASA, The Verge, which is Ad Fonte says that it is centered, but I still think it leans a little bit left. But it's all about the space junk. You can go to theverge.com and check out. NASA confirms origin of space junk that crashed through Florida home. You remember us talking about that a couple of weeks ago? The 1.6-pound metal object should have burned up in Earth's atmosphere. NASA has confirmed suspicions that a strange object that crashed into a Florida home last month did indeed come from the International Space Station. The agency analyzed the cylindrical object after it tore through a roof and 2 floors of a house in Naples on March 8th and established that it came from a cargo pallet of aging batteries that was released from the International Space Station back in 21. Let me go ahead and pull up. Sorry. Here it is. We know that crashed through the roof of the Florida home last month. News Nation's Steve Grzanich has more.
NASA says it was a piece of space junk. The object tore through the roof of a home in Naples, Florida last month. It was taken to the Kennedy Space Center for analysis, and it was confirmed to be a metal support used to mount batteries on a cargo pallet that was discarded from the space station in 2021. NASA expected the junk to burn up on re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, but that didn't happen. The space agency will now try to figure out why. Steve Grzanich, News Nation.
More specifically, NASA revealed in a blog post on Monday that the offending object was a support component used to mount the batteries on the 5,800-pound pallet released from the space station, made from Inconel, a metal alloy that can withstand extreme environments like high temperature, pressure, or mechanical loads. The recovered stanchion weighs 1.6 pounds and measures 4 inches high by 1.6 inches in diameter. A smidge smaller than a standard can of Red Bull. 1.6 pounds that crashed through a roof and 2 floors. It went all the way from roof through the attic, through the first floor, into the basement. That's what space junk does. Hopefully nobody, and I believe nobody was injured on that. But my goodness, come on now. We can't just be throwing stuff up there into space.
I mean, I get space junk all the time. This just fell into my lap.
Oh, yeah?
So,
your bud, that can, they were having a party in the International Space Station and dropping cans.
Yeah, no, it's the most American approach to like space junk or like any a problem. Like, oh, just throw it out the window. It'll be fine. It'll go away eventually. Meanwhile, this thing's going into people. Donnie Darkoing somebody in Naples.
I know.
Jeez.
It's just
Yeah,
out
that's
of nowhere. The International Space Station
Mm-hmm.
and China's Taegong Space Station also occupy low Earth orbit, both at an altitude of around 400 kilometers. There's plenty of objects like artificial satellites and bits of spacecraft that have fallen out of use and remain in orbit around Earth. That's got to be worth. When is it finally going to be worth somebody to go up there and actually start cleaning it up and say, no, this is space junk. You don't get to claim it after you just drop it off. Like, that's like throwing something out in the highway and everybody that collected your cans, you're turning around and go, oh, no, I'm the one who littered. So you wouldn't have that can unless I was breaking the law. So you owe me some of that money.
Yeah, it's like you see the old built houses when there's like beer cans in the walls, and they're like, "Oh, it's appreciating. You recycle that. If you recycled that at the time and invested that money, you would have came out on top." But yeah, ridiculous. I love it though, space junk. I hope that that becomes a legit industry, and so I could be, like a garbage man of the sky. They got astronauts to go like figure out science stuff. I'm just here to clean up the garbage. Like, this is an application.
That's what you always see in these movies. Is they're always the junkers, right? They're always the space scavengers that find a abandoned spacecraft that's just floating out there, just a ghost ship that's there. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a space movie called Ghost Ship. I mean, Event Horizon was one of them. Was it Sam Neill? It did a fantastic job of his eyes and the stuff.
Space trash cleanup.
Space truckers.
That's it.
NASA
Space
says more than
garbage
NASA says more than 25,000 objects larger than 10 centimeters are known to already exist. The estimated population of particles between 1 and 10 centimeters in diameter is approximately 500,000. The number of particles larger than 1 millimeter exceeds 100 million. As of January 2022, the amount of material orbiting the Earth exceeds 9,000 metric tons. That is a lot of space junk.
That is. Is Earth going to have like a ring at some point? Is that like the deal?
Eventually, I think that's what ends up happening. Maybe that's how the first moon was created. Was our ancient ancestors in the land of Atlantia, or whatever it is, Atlantis. That's out there.
Let's just start, deep dive, making up conspiracies, making up our own history.
That was the.
Should we know what the moon?
Exactly. Let's do another one from News Nation. The OBGYN doctor shortage is worsening. News Nation Stephanie Hines.
One of the potential major impacts of this could mean shutting maternity care units at rural hospitals, which News Nation has already reported on. Last year in Alabama, 3 hospitals there have shuttered their maternity care units. And so what's really happening here, Marky, is that physicians are retiring faster than they can be replaced with new doctors. And so, according to the American Medical Association, close to half of doctors nationwide are ages 55 and older. So in the next 5 years, 35% of that physician workforce will be of retirement age. And so a report from our partners at The Hill points to several factors that may be behind all of this, such as burnout, too much on doctors' plates. Fewer med students might be applying to OBGYN programs in states where abortion restrictions are very strict. That's according to the American Medical Association. And then there's this fear of medical malpractice lawsuits. And so Big cities are really feeling the impact as well as rural areas. More than 5.5 million women live in areas with little to no access to maternal care, according to the organization March of Dimes, which says hospitals are faced with staffing and recruitment issues, as well as rising costs and low birth volume. Now, rising costs is very real, not only for you, the consumer, the person who wants health insurance, but also for hospitals, for doctors. And in fact, OBGYNs have very high insurance premiums.
OBGYNs in some states, are you ready for this number? Thank you, News Nation. Thank you, Stephanie. Some states have as much as $170,000. That's your insurance that you have to pay to make sure that you can still be an OBGYN in some of these states, because of all of the legal aspects that are happening in each state. Some states are saying even if you just use the roads to go have an abortion, we are going to charge you with some criminal activity of it. And this is real jail time. And you want to stay out of that. That's the whole point of the malpractice and the lawyer insurance and everything else as a doctor. That's the whole point of it. And now in some of these states, there's the retirement age. Nobody's moving out here. So 35% are going to be gone by 5 years from now, 35% drop already. And people are moving out and not moving in. And now the people who are going to stay are going to increase their entire medical side of the OBGYN, not just the reproductive abortion side of it. Everything that happens with Planned Parenthood or any of the other hospitals, just for women's checkup and women's health. That's what's getting out of control with this, Ben, is where does the financial impact is still going to hit us whether or not we like the procedures that are happening. This is one of these weird tertiary effects of making a law and banning something.
Absolutely, yeah. It's unbelievable that we're at this point where people need to travel back in time to see how terrible it is when their rights are taken away. And then you have just the initiatives of these politicians to where they want to basically heighten the bar of being able to plan Parenthood, as far as even they're coming after IVF in some instances, not publicly, or it kind of playing the politics game of it. It's real sad, scary to see, and they're just banking, kind of like we were talking the other day on tax day, how the government kind of banks on people not doing their taxes and then going after them for or being fraudulent or whatever. It's the same thing where the government either, or not the government, but the policy made by policymakers is there to kind of just push a certain demographic of people to live a certain way and not have the same autonomy as others who may be in different tax brackets or different social circles or pickleball clubs or whatever have you, sauna goers, just a reverberation of the haves and the have-nots, which we talk about all the time, and it's really what this is about. If you have the means, you're gonna be able to get an abortion, and the doctor who you're gonna go to is probably well taken care of enough to pay those taxes and all that stuff too. So it's sad. It's sad that it's being framed like this, and yeah, I especially not to go completely off the topic, but with everything that's going on in the Middle East and Gaza and the deaths of children in wars worldwide. It's always I'm pro-life until conception, until birth, and I just wish there was more of a focus taking care of the actual kids. The people who are on Earth already, and just having common sense laws when it comes to abortion, and it's going to be apparent when the states that have these terrible laws in place see the hell that's going to come from it. And, it's
Well,
not
what
good
I like about
statistics
it
already, so it's scary.
What I like about what they're doing when they send it back down to the states is that's fine. If you want to believe that the federal ban and there's a bunch of people that don't like this, the silent majority wants to be there, okay, well, the vocal majority now gets to vote and be vocal. So now it's going to prove where the masses and where people in these states. If you look at Kansas and Ohio, soon to be Arizona, all of these different places that when they put it up to the people, you still end up with whatever they were doing 50 years ago with that precedent. Well, we are out of time, Ben. I really like the News Nation clips. I think they brought a little bit into it. So if you want more News Nation, you can always go to newsnationibelieve.com. Lots of things that are out there. As you can tell, it's all the facts. There's no bend or anything like that. That's what we're here for. We're here to tell you where the bias is and where everything's at. But add us to your digest. Add us to your media food and intake. WRMN Out to Lunch. Lots of great things coming. It's going to be summer, and we are going to be out in the world. Thank you again, Ben, for being here with me. And thank you, listener, for being here. This has been Out to Lunch. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. We'll be back tomorrow. Stand by for more deals. Drive Time Deal with Matt McNeil at 3 o'clock.
Clocking out? Drive home with the Drive Time Deal with Matt McNeil on WRMN 1410 AM every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. I bring you the hottest deals in town, the most intriguing stories, and the tracks that take the edge off rush hour. Tune in on 1410 AM. Catch us on YouTube Live at WRMN Radio or stream through our app. I've got the wheel to steer your evening right. WRMN 1410 AM, your home of radio shopping and the soundtrack to your commute.
Rise and shine